10th, 2023. And I'm afraid this is just another walk downtown. That's just the only thing that makes sense from my pressing need to work. So, no walk around the lake. Also, I'm still holding out for the ice to go away. I don't know what it is around the lake. Sometimes that can be quite icy too, so. And as again, the first risk is getting off the crescent here where the worst ice is. As you can see, there was a little bit of fresh snow last night, and that makes the ice even more slippery. I think I prefer the other side. No, I didn't actually. When I got down to the corner, it was worse. So let's stay over here. And again, I'm just working with the microphone on the camera, the iPhone, because my little clip-on mic quit working. And I've got a replacement coming, but I don't have it yet. It's about -12. Not too bad right now. A bit of wind will make it chillier in spots. But it's not that there's cold weather coming, but there's a blizzard coming. We're under a blizzard warning. Expected to hit tonight and continue well into tomorrow, with the blizzard easing off in the morning, but the snow continuing. So the last I saw, potentially 15 to 25 centimeters. 25 centimeters is 10 inches, so almost. So let's hope it's not that much. For one thing, I don't want to shovel it. I'll have to shovel that. You can't put that off once it hits. Anyway, maybe it won't be as bad as they say. Sometimes these things are worst the further southeast you go. They kind of clip the southeast corner of the province, and we're just enough further north that they sometimes miss us and we don't get the full force of it. But not always. So I guess we'll find out. Also, I have to sing tomorrow. There's a concert, Saskatchewan Youth Choir, as part of Choral Fest, and West Canada Voices, the main choir I sing with. I know I've been off rehearsing the last 2 nights, but neither one of those was West Canada Voices. Is doing 4 numbers on Saturday, and that's tomorrow at Christ Lutheran Church, and this blizzard could put a spanner in the works, to pardon the Britishism. Again, I just don't trust any of the ice around here with this little bit of snow on it. You can't even see it. And it's more slippery because of the little layer of snow, so one must be careful. So I take little tiny steps. Once we get downtown, sidewalks are mostly clear. So I'm heading to the, what's it called? I don't remember what it's called. Coffee shop on Hamilton that I've gone to a few, not Hamilton, Rose that I've gone to a few times. And then won't stream, but I'll switch coffee shops after I've been there for a while. Then I have to go pick up some pills, and then I'll be back at the hotel, and so the walk home will be the familiar one back from the Hotel Saskatchewan. Corners are the worst, by far. Wind's picking up. Of course, you can't have a blizzard. You have a snowstorm, but in order to have a blizzard, there's a certain temperature and wind speed requirement. You can have a blizzard without any fresh snow, if there's enough to blow around. as I understand it. But we are supposed to get a lot of fresh snow and the wind and the cold. I think -10 is kind of what she's supposed to be for a blizzard. Although it's supposed to go to -5 today, so maybe I'm wrong about that. Anyway, it's not supposed to be pleasant. So, depending on when it hits, I could be walking home in the start of the blizzard. We'll see if the forecast is accurate. Here's your police car. Royal Saskatchewan Museum over there. See, the sun is much higher now. We're almost to the equinox. To go. Probably I should just stick on to Albert because I know that it's mostly clear. There you can see the little bit of fresh snow from last night. But if they're to be believed, there'll be a lot more today. Yes, there won't be any walking in the dark in the mornings now for quite some time. These walks to rehearsal have put us into the dark the last few nights. I know people like the walks at night. Yes, this is the same path I followed yesterday up to a point. But you know, Walking Commuter, the guy that inspired all this, Gabe in New York, whose walks I recommend. I was watching him, that could maybe realize I could do it too. Funny though, I think he gets more viewers for his walks in Manhattan. Can't imagine why. But anyway, he repeats himself all the time. Of course, he's repeating himself in the aforementioned Manhattan, which perhaps has more general interest than Albert Street and Regina, but you know, if you live in New York, Regina is kind of exotic. As my wife says, if you live in Tuscany, Moose Jaw is exotic. For us, Tuscany is exotic. It just all depends on what you're used to. I guess I'll just go here, go straight down 13th probably. Well, let's go this way. Just to, because I've walked down 13th every time I go to this coffee shop. So today we'll walk down, no, this is 15th. And we will judge it by the quality of the sidewalk. So here's a bad spot. The rest of it ahead of me looks pretty good. This is the sunnier side of the street, so it tends to be better than the other side, which is more shaded when the sun is low, making less difference now, again, as we get closer to the equinox. And I guess once we're past the equinox, we'll start to see the sun being more to the south, or to the north, I mean. And overhead, noon. And the days will be getting longer. Once you're past the equinox, days are longer than the nights. Oh, shocking news. Also, I guess tonight is, not tonight, but this weekend is the time change for those who celebrate. We don't. Our time zone does not change. Central Standard year-round, or effectively Mountain Daylight year-round, depends on how you want to look at it. Which means there's constantly struggles to make sure I've got the right time when I'm arranging interviews. In fact, I'm already thinking Did I check all that with the people I'm interviewing this coming week? I'm going to go back and look at the correspondence. Because I do have 2 or 3 interviews lined up for this coming week. Plus, the cat's going to the vet on next Wednesday. Unfortunately, I can't live stream while I'm out at Harbor Landing because he'll be in his carrier and not happy. There's Fireside Bistro, where I've eaten recently a couple of times. Why is there a pair of shoes sitting in the middle of the sidewalk? It's very odd. And 2 of them. Usually you only see 1 shoe, which is even more puzzling. Yeah, well, clearly they're unloading something. Honking at them is not going to make them move over there. He honked at the truck, but the truck is unloading stuff at the restaurant. Nasty bit of ice. I always say that about this point in the walk. Oh, here's a bad stretch. So the steady wins the race, so you don't fall flat on your face. Well, of course, the other thing I must mention is continue to work toward the launch of the Shapers of Worlds Volume 4 Kickstarter next Tuesday. I'll probably pull the trigger at noon my time, which will be 2 o'clock in East Coast. Unless I decide to do it earlier, it's up to me. I may launch it at noon Eastern time, 10 o'clock my time. See, I knew that was a bad stretch. And even looking right at it, my foot slid sideways. Which is why the camera just jerked. Anyway, I'll be looking for $12,000 Canadian. I hope to get much more than that. At least $17,000, because if I can get to that, I'm going to hire my niece to illustrate the book. She's a very talented artist. I currently have about 65 followers. I'd like to boost that up more as we approach launch. So if you go to tinyurl.com/Shapers of Worlds 4, numeral 4, that will take you to the pre-launch page, which will convert to the actual page when the thing goes live. Which you could do at any moment. I could literally, as soon as I get my computer out, I could launch it, but I'm waiting till March 14th. I'd hoped to launch it this week, but I couldn't quite get it ready. And I certainly hope my authors will help me promote it. They're kind of hit or miss in that way each year. I never get quite as much. That's nasty. I think I'll go up the alley. Does that look any better? It might further up. Let's risk the alley here. It actually looks better than the sidewalk. At least once I get past this first stretch. Yeah, I should have worn my warmer gloves. My thumbs are freezing. It's because of the wind, not because it's so terribly cold. Generally not too bad. Somebody must be running the dryer there. So again, amazing collection of authors, including the biggest name this time around, I think, is Sherry Lynn Kenyon. Huge best-selling author. I don't have a backers reward from her yet, so I might still get one. She's very busy. She just ran a Kickstarter herself, I think. And she'd said she'd try to find something, but she hasn't come up with it yet. So I don't know if I'll hear from her or not in regards to that. But anyway, she's probably the single biggest author, but many others are critically acclaimed bestsellers, Hugo nominees, World Fantasy Award winner, Matthew Tidlar. Sarah A. Hoyt, who has had the most listens of any podcast I've done, pushing 3,000 for her interview. We'll have a story. Alright, well this is 14th. Getting closer. This is a little further than just walking to the hotel. Of course I am moving slower because of the ice. So we don't want this street, we want the next one. Actually, we want the one after that. So 2 blocks this way and then 2 blocks north. Sidewalk looks pretty clear here, so I'll carry on along here. The old apartment buildings. Nobody coming. Scarlet Street we are crossing now. There's looking right downtown. Got Gail Z. Martin, Josh Palmatier, David Liss, Edward M. Lerner. The list goes on and on. Those names will mean something if you're a science fiction fantasy reader. And me, I will write a story. Among the things in the backers rewards is an opportunity to have your name used as a character in a story. Well, Richard Paolinelli has 3 of those available. 3 people who can have their names used in his upcoming novel. This looks pretty good. Let's go this way. There's also opportunities for online chats with authors, including me, Zoom conferences with up to 4 people, and they're called Kathy Flashes, signed books, ebook packages, audiobooks, short story critiques. I offer one, so is John Louis Trudell is offering one as well. At the very highest end, I offer nobody's ever taken this, but I offer a 3-month writing mentorship for $3,000. Oh, there's also some one-on-one writing publishing workshops with Mark Leslie. Mark Leslie is what he writes fiction under, but he's also well known as a speaker on publishing, book selling, and all that stuff, because that's what his career has been. This is a health facility of some kind. I've never been entirely sure what. Okay. 2 more blocks. Well, yeah, 2 more blocks that way, I guess. Or is it 1? Where am I? I'm in Hamilton. 1 more block that way. It's that tall building just coming into view. Coffee shop is in the basement, not the basement, ground floor of that. That's where I'm headed to start. Looks pretty clear over here. Apartment building there. Hello, somebody finally said hello this morning. From New Delhi, hi. Got a blizzard blowing in later today. Probably you don't have that in New Delhi. On the other hand, you have what, monsoons? We don't have monsoons. So that's where I'm headed, over there. It's the coffee shop. Be there in a minute. Literally. I'm gonna go this way because I think the other sidewalk looks less clear on that side than it is on this side. Oh, first dog. They may be headed to the same coffee shop, that group of guys back there, so I hope I'm ahead of them. I'm glad I'm ahead of them. Fix, that's what it's called. I should have known that, but I didn't. Alright. So we'll stop here, and I'll pick this up later. Bye for now.